What would it take to get my CNC business to the next level? I've documented the last 4 years of running my Shapeoko CNC extensively here on my channel, with videos like how I made my first $10,000 with my Shapeoko CNC and how to make 100 wooden trays with a desktop CNC. If you've seen those videos, you know that I'm a huge Shapeoko fan. The machine punches way above its price point, and what Carbide 3D has going as a company, I think, is nothing short of first class. I believe Avid CNC is the same type of company. Although in two completely different classes of CNCs, one specialized in hobby machines and one specializing in professional machines, these two companies seem to have similar goals as mine. My goal is to help you discover the world of CNC and how to make money with it. That is why I'm pumped to have this AvidPro4848 CNC in my shop. Let me share with you how I arrived at this point. And then a little later on, I'll share with you what this new CNC is capable of and what it's going to do for my business. Also, full disclosure, Avid did send me this CNC in exchange for me sharing my experiences with it. Over the past year or so, it's become more common for me to turn down jobs because of capability, my shop capability and the capability of my CNC. One of those jobs was with a large online retailer that wanted to place an order of $20,000 in products. I shared that story recently here on my channel, and I will link it above. Another job was for over $5,000 of stage set backdrop panels. I turned these jobs down for varying reasons. Some because of efficiency, some because of cost, those kind of go hand in hand, and some because of capacity. These opportunities seem to be increasing, or at least I'm noticing them more. Not only the jobs that are coming to me directly, but also realizing the endless possibilities in the world of CNC. I've only just scratched the surface in the 4 years of experience I have in CNC. But this makes sense. As your knowledge of something increases, you start to see things differently. You start to see things that weren't possible before. That's where I'm at. Not only do I find myself saying no to more jobs, but I also see what could be. So I'm at a point where my CNC business needs to increase its capacity, efficiency, and productivity. It reminds me of this quote from Henry Ford, the founder of the Ford Motor Company. I think he knows a thing or two about manufacturing at scale. Henry Ford said, if you need a machine and you don't get it, you don't buy it, you don't acquire it, you pay for it without getting it. My Shapeoko isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's going to stay right here in the spot it always has been, in this corner of my basement. I'll be using it for smaller projects, and I might set it up for something specific. That way I can limit setups and save some time with setup changes. So you'll definitely be seeing the Shapeoko in future videos. So let me tell you about this new CNC in my shop and what I think it's going to do for my business. And the reason I say think is because I don't know everything that it's going to do. I know what it's going to do as far as capability and those things, but the doors that it's going to open, I don't know. So with this setup, it can cut up to 500 inches per minute and wrap it up to 1,000 inches per minute. I can now use 1/2 inch diameter tooling if I need to. I can cut stock up to 48 inches by 48 inches. My ultimate goal is to get to a 4x8 or 4x10 CNC. The really cool thing about Avid machines is you can add on to them. So this 4x4 is going to become a 4x8 or 4x10 in the near future. The reason I went with a 4x4 right now is because of space. As you can see, AndyBirdbuilds is no longer just in the basement. We've started to take over the garage as well. Shh, don't tell my wife. She can still park in the garage for now. All right, so what is this CNC going to do for my business? So the first thing, obviously, it's going to increase productivity, just with the sheer speed upgrade. The increased bed capacity will enable me to cut from larger pieces of stock. For example, when I do my wooden trays, I'll no longer have to cut pieces of stock down to 16 inches. I'll be able to cut 3 times as much just from one setup. And that's just going in the Y, in the vertical direction. When I go horizontal across the X and stack that up, I'm going to be able to cut 20 trays at a time, to where before I was only cutting 5. So not only is this going to cut down my machine time, but it's also going to cut down on my stock prep time. And the third thing is increased flexibility and adaptability. The really cool thing about Avids, like I said before, is they can evolve with your business. So as my business needs different needs, I can add things like vertical work holding. If I come across a need of that, that is relatively simple to add that to the front of the machine, and now I have vertical work holding. And obviously, just bed size. I can increase the bed size to 4x8 or 4x10 or 4x12 or 4x20, whatever dimension I wanted, I can keep adding on and increase its size. Sharing my personal journey through the world of CNC is something that I get really excited about. And I'm really excited about the doors that this new machine is gonna open. This is the first video in a series that will be going over my setup for the new machine. Next, I'll be setting up the spoil board, dust collection, and doing my first cuts, which I'm super pumped about. Be sure you hit subscribe and the bell icon. That way you'll know when I upload those videos. If you can't wait for those videos to come out and wanna learn more about CNC and what it's all about and my personal experiences, I'll put a playlist right here that you can click on and watch. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.